and welcome to my channel. It's been a little while. It's been about a week and a half because I've been on holiday. I went to the Dutch beach, so the Dutch coastline, with my boyfriend and his mom and dad. And I had a lot of fun, and even though I brought my camera and I brought a lot of makeup, I didn't really have a chance to film any videos. I was trying to, but the weather was always off, or I don't know, when there are other people so close by you, I don't know, it just felt a little awkward. So I decided to take a little break, and I'm happy to be back. So I have a lot of videos planned, and they're all focused on the halfway point of the year. So that's what my first weeks of June is probably going to be about. But for now, I just want to ease back into it and do a little get ready with me, trying some stuff that I've been wanting to try again. And that's my plan for today. So, real quick before we start, thank you so much for clicking on my video. I hope you'll consider subscribing to my channel if you do like this video, and let's get into it. So I want to show you quickly. This is the makeup bag I actually brought on holiday, and then I also had a lot of extras, you know, tucked into my suitcase everywhere. But this was the main thing. And I thought it would be fun to pick some items out of this bag to use today. So I don't really have an exact plan. I just want to have fun with my makeup. I did that the whole week I was on holiday. I did actually do my makeup quite a lot of times, and I just had fun doing it. I didn't want there to be too much pressure to do it pretty or anything. So that's why that's also why I didn't film anything. I think I'm going to do later this week what did I bring on holiday video, so I'm not going to show you everything. I did of course bring my Anastasia Beverly Hills eyeshadow primer, which is what I'm going to use today. I'm wearing a green top, so I figured I'd use my Tasty Avocado palette again from Makeup Revolution, or I Heart Revolution I should say, and do a fun green look again. Feels good to be back. I know I don't have a lot of followers, but I still feel like we have a little bit of connection. I do talk to some of you regularly in the comments, and I really enjoy that. So, I don't know, it feels nice. So this is the Tasty Avocado palette. This is what the inside looks like. And I want to focus mainly on the greens. So I think I'm going to do a halo eye using the darker greens, and then do the green shimmer in the middle. I'm still supposed to do an all brown look with this palette, and I never get to it. There are always prettier green and blue shades that I want to use. So I'm taking my pencil brush by Too Faced. Ooh, it's starting to get a little stormy outside. And I'm going to go into the darkest green, which is called Has. And I'm going to put that in the inner and outer corner. I'm going to try to keep it a little bit confined, but we'll see how that goes. So, like I said, I went on a beach holiday, which we decided on a couple of months ago, I think, or at least a month and a half. And when I was asked where I wanted to go, I immediately said the beach, because I haven't been there in years. And I don't know, when I think about the beach, I think like hot summer days, going in the ocean or in the sea, having fun, you know, playing around on the sand. I don't know, I have these very romantic ideas. What I did not realize was that Dutch beach vacation really is pretty cold. So I did talk about this on my stories on Instagram. I think the highest temperature it reached was about 18. Because at the sea it's a little bit colder than inland. And then on the coldest days it was about 13, so that's late winter, early spring temperatures really. So there was no way I was going to go into the beach, into the sea. So I had to switch my mindset a little bit. So I only packed very summery dresses and I was cold half the time. I mean, that was all fine. I still had a lot of fun. I had all this makeup with me to do all these fun beach looks and get ready with me for the beach and a summer party, and I don't know, I was just thinking about a beach in Florida, I guess, and not one in the Netherlands. Still, when I got over that, I had a lot of fun. We took a lot of trips to the beach. It was about a 10-minute walk. And I really let my hair out, let my hair loose. And we went to a couple of nearby towns and I don't know, it was just fun. A lot of walking, hiking. I'm going into lime, which is the lightest green shade. And I'm going to blend the other greens out with this. The lighting is actually turning pretty horrible. And this is very uneven. I guess I'm a little bit rusty because I really rushed into this. Is this better? I don't think so. So I'm also taking the deepest shade and I'm putting it in the inner and outer part of my lower lash line. Alright, I think it's time for shimmers. First let me add another light. There, I know this is not the best lighting either, but I don't really have a choice right now. So, this is what I settled on. I hope it's okay. Like I said, it's time for shimmer. I'm going to use my finger and I'm going to go into the shade Green Gold, which is this shimmery green. And I'm also taking the same shade in the middle of the lower lash line. And I'm also putting it in the inner corner. I usually keep the inner corner a little bit darker when I do a halo eye. But I wanted to do something different today. And that's it for the eye look. I'm not completely convinced I love this. I think I took it up too high on the left side. I think this side is okay, but this is a little bit too much. But now I have to even them out. Just like that. It's a little bit much, but I'm sure it'll come together. I'm going to add a lot of foundation and everything and it'll be okay. I'm just going to finish up the eyes completely. For eyeliner I have this lime green eyeliner by NYX, the NYX Epic Wear in the shade Emerald Cut. This is a perfect match for the light green. Then for mascara I'm going into a black one because I feel like a green one, I do have a green mascara, it would be a little bit too subtle for the intensity of this eye look. So instead I'm going into the Givenchy Disturbia mascara. I think mascara is almost finished. Takes quite a bit of time to even build it up to this intensity. Yeah, I'm going to put this in my empties tray in my little shelf. There's also an empties video coming very soon. I have about 2 little CD shelves full of empties, makeup and skincare. And I'm very excited to share them with you. So I'm not going to do any falsies today because I don't feel like it. So that's the finished eye look. I don't hate it. I just feel like I could have done a little bit better. Now for my base makeup, I want to use my Airbrush Flawless foundation by Charlotte Tilbury. And I'm going to use, I wanted to say my Lancome La Base, but that's also finished. I do have something instead of it. I have this YSL Blur Primer, which pretty much does the same thing. I don't think there's any difference between the two. I do love wearing these blurring, smoothing primers when I'm using a more matte full coverage foundation. I discovered that using the Huda Faux filter, I actually can't use that foundation without this kind of primer. But then I started using it with other full coverage foundations and I actually always love the result. I have a couple of dry patches and then I have some little bit oily areas, and I think this primer makes that the foundation just glides on evenly. And I don't have to use that much product, and that way it doesn't look cakey. So it's always a plus to use that primer. And when using a primer like this, your foundation spreads really far. So I find myself not needing as much foundation. And I hope soon this will also mean I don't pump out as much foundation as before. Because I really don't need that much anymore. It's just on a little bit more dry skin. These kind of foundations, they don't travel as far. And I'm sure there are cheaper alternatives to what I'm using. I just happen to have these 2 primers on hand, the Lancome one and the YSL one. And I do swear by them, both of them. I actually think I like the YSL one just a little bit more, because it seems to also grip my foundation when everything dries down. So I think on the Lancome one, my foundation stays a little bit more liquid and it moves around a little bit more. I think I got a little bit of a tan. This foundation suddenly looks very light to me. In real life it matches perfectly. I think it's the lighting. Look, if I do like this, the match is already a little bit better. That's funny. Like I said, there was hardly any sun all week. For concealer, I'm going into the Pat McGrath. So I let this sit for just a little bit. And I'm using my new Primark brush to blend out my concealer. I think I showed this to you in my last video, the one I did just before I left on holiday. I really like the shape of this brush. Because of the point, it actually reaches underneath my eyes a little bit better than my eyeshadow brush. But it does move the product a little bit quicker, or a lot quicker. Then today I want to do a little bit of contouring, because I took this ABH contour stick with me. This is in the shade Shadow. And I didn't use it. So I want to use it today. I'm just going to put a little bit here. A little bit right here. A little bit here. Just like that. It's been a long time since I've used this, so I wanted to give it a try. And then to blend it out, I want to use an old foundation brush that I actually hardly use for foundation anymore. Oh yay. So this is the difference. I think it blended out okay like this. Alright, I think that looks okay. I'm trying, or at least I'm going to try to use my contour to do my jaw and my nose at least. Because I'm using my bronzer now, and now I always have this orange neck and I don't really like the way that looks. I want to keep my bronzer more in this area. So I figured I would start today and try a little bit of contouring. I think my lighting is a little bit too bright. That's better, right? So now for powder, I'm going to use my trusty Guerlain Meteorites powder. For underneath my eyes and everywhere I used concealer. I'm almost out of this one. And I haven't exactly found a replacement powder yet. I do like the brightening powder by Essence, but that's more of a, like, if you want to brighten a little bit after you've already powdered. It's not as heavy duty as this powder. And then I also like the Givenchy, the loose powder in the lightest shade. But I find it easier to use a pressed powder with a little round applicator, like I'm doing now. So if you know of any good very light powders for concealer, then I would love to hear them. And for the rest of my face, I'm going into my Too Faced Born This Way pressed powder with this nice big brush, and I'm going into the Soft Focus, which is supposed to be a dupe for the Hourglass powder. I don't think they're very similar, but I do like it. For bronzer, I want to go into my Dior bronzer. This is the Forever Nude bronzer. I have mine in the shade number 4. And I'm going to use this little bit more precise contour brush by Real Techniques. See if I can make it a little bit more exact. I don't know, I'm just trying something. I don't think I like this. And now I'm going into my regular bronzer brush. This one just hugs the jawbone. So it's exactly what a bronzer should do. It should, or at least in my opinion, it should give a little bit of that sun-kissed look. But it should also provide a little bit of contour. And this brush just does that perfectly. I am going to use a little bit around my nose. And I'm not going to use anything underneath my jaw. Just blending it out a little bit further with my powder brush. I'm quickly putting a little bit of Kruidvat eyebrow gel in my brows. I've been loving the new color eyebrow gel I got by Dior. And now I know I have a good one, I kind of want to use this one up first. for blush, I think I'm going into the red blush, which was Iridescent Rose in the Hourglass palette. I always feel like this is a good combination with green. It's just a little bit easy to go overboard with this one. I just mentioned that I didn't think the Too Faced powder was very similar to this setting powder or finishing powder by Hourglass. I actually like the Hourglass powder less. I really like Hourglass's bronzers, highlighters, blushes. Those are all beautiful, but I found their finishing powders a little bit too noticeable. It's like you really see these little, it's like they don't go onto your pores very pretty. At least not mine. Thought that would be fun to mention. I'm going into my powder brush again. A little bit heavier this time. And then it's perfect. For highlight, I want to use my Dior palette. I've really been falling back in love with this highlighter over the holiday. I figured I'm gonna do some sort of warm beach look. And I went super ultra glam with it. Maybe I'll show a picture right now. Anyway, in the look I was wearing a lot of this highlighter and I loved it. If I'm going on a beach vacation, something's gotta be gold and sparkly. That's what I thought. By the way, I used this shade. I always use the lightest shade. Now we're almost done. All that I need is a lip. I'm not sure what I want to do. If I'm going through my vacation pile, this is one option. The Huda in Gold Digger or a nice red. But I feel like a nude. I think I'm going to go with Angel Alessandra by Charlotte Tilbury. This is a beautiful peachy nude in the Kissing formula. And I think this looks beautiful with green. So this is my finished look. I hope you enjoyed this video. I had a lot of fun catching up with you guys, and I have a lot of fun video ideas coming your way the next couple of weeks, and I will see you in the next one.